Hello and welcome to tutorial key points video 3. This area requires a lot of thought. Which human rights should matter? Why? And how should conflicting rights be dealt with? Reflect on these issues and do look at the opinions and arguments of others. The great debates that have run throughout history. The more you think about these questions, the better lawyer you will become. Critically evaluating the reasons and arguments for protecting or not protecting specific rights is essential for this course. There are two vital introductory points I must make. It is very important that you never give the impression that you cannot distinguish the European Union, EU law, the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg, from the European Convention, created by the Council of Europe, a body that predates the organisations which have become the EU, and with a much larger membership and a very different history, and its European Court of Human Rights at Strasbourg. If a marker of an ETMA or the exam is presented with an answer that makes him or her think that you don't understand the difference, and it is easy to fall into that trap, especially as parts of our media consistently confuse the two, then your answer will fail. To mix them up is a fatal flaw that could lead to failing part or the whole of the course. Secondly, the ECHR is about specific human rights. I know you can see on TV people complaining that their human rights have been interfered with and will pursue their case using the ECHR. But they must show that one of the specific rights in the Convention have been breached. That Convention is not a general human rights protector. The next issue to consider is the differences between the traditional English approach, you are free to do anything you want, say anything you please, unless specifically prohibited by valid law, a statute or case law, with the protection of specific rights as the European Convention on Human Rights does. On the ECHR, make sure that you know what the specific rights are. Read the Convention, and the table on pages 20 to 21 of Manual 2 summarise them. Consider the key issue of how rights are balanced. My right to say what I please against your rights to privacy and not to be damaged by what I've done. ETMA 02 has two questions. The first requires you to apply key provisions in the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, PACE, powers and rights. So make sure that you have reflected on at least sections 17, 18 and 19, sections 24 and 28 and relevant cases. In Part B, explain how English law, the Human Rights Act, applies the ECHR. You need to refer both to the statute and cases, and that may require some detective work, but at the very least I expect to see Guyden and Godin Mendoza and the Queen and Samuel applied. Question 2 requires discussion, so you need to prepare and include critical evaluation about the claims made. Reading the whole of the key cases will help, because that's what the judges do. They summarise and discuss the key arguments in their judgment. I also expect you to compare and contrast different cases. Well, that's all for now. I look forward to receiving your ETMA. Have a good time over the holidays, and perhaps we'll meet at our next tutorial in the new year.